Hey everybody, this is Tony, Taint the Lord A7, and this is going to be my last collection update for 2024. And it's a small one, just four CDs that I picked up at my local thrift store. And yeah, just this is just a really simple small collection update for 2024. And let's go straight to it. The first CD I'm going to show off is a death metal band, and that band is Fumigation. Yeah, Fumigation in the album Structural Extermination. Now, Fumigation are a death metal band from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, and this is their second album, if I remember correctly. And Structural Extermination is just a solid, straight up, no bullshit death metal album. It's fast, chaotic, brutal, and crushingly heavy. If you're a fan of bands like Dying Fetus, Deeds of Flesh, Severe Torture, and Suffocation, this band should definitely be a band to check out. And yeah, Fumigation are just a very solid death metal band, and Structural Extermination is a crushing death metal album. It may not change the genre or doing anything different, but what it does best, and this is just a very solid death metal album. I definitely recommend checking out Fumigation and the album Structural Extermination. Very solid stuff. Next up is Machines of Loving Grace in the album Concentration. Yeah, Concentration by Machines of Loving Grace. Now, I first heard of Machines of Loving Grace when they first appeared on the Crow soundtrack with Golgotha Tenement Blues, and I have I think the second album Glit, but this album Concentration by Machines of Loving Grace is to me the best album. Now, don't get me wrong, Glit was a solid album, but I feel like they really found their sound with this album. Machines of Loving Grace Concentration is just a solid industrial rock, goth rock album that definitely sounds like it came out during the 90s. After all, it did came out back in 1983, but when you listen to it, you can definitely tell it has that 90s feel to it. And if you love your industrial rock, goth rock, music from the early '90s, you can't go wrong with Machines of Loving Grace and the album Concentration. Like, I think the biggest hit on this album is the single Butterfly Wings, and yeah, definitely check out that song, and afterwards check out this album. Like I said, if you're into like industrial rock, goth rock from the early '90s, you can't go wrong with Machines of Living Grace Concentration. So I'm really glad to have found this album at my local thrift store. Really good stuff and very nostalgic if you're into like the early '90s industrial rock, goth rock craze. So yeah, Machines of Loving Grace Concentration. Okay, the next band is a band that I don't hear a lot of people talk about, and that's Seven Mary Three in the album Walk Crown. Now, Seven Mary Three I first heard of from the Crow City of Angels soundtrack with the album Shelf Life, and I really like that song off that soundtrack. And I totally forgot about this band until I found this album at my local thrift store. And Seven Mary Three's Walk Crown is just a simple, straightforward rock album. Not nothing overly mind blowing, but this is pretty decent stuff, and I actually kind of like it. Like it's definitely like a mainstream rock sound appeal to it, but sometimes you just want to listen to something easygoing and straightforward after listening to so much extreme metal music, so I'm really glad to pick up Seven Mary's 3 Walk Crowd. Like I said, it's like a mainstream rock album, but it's good for what it is. I like it. It's not bad. I feel like the previous albums before this one is considered better, but this one, Walk Crown by 783, is not a bad album if you just want some straightforward mainstream walk music. And yeah, I'm really glad to pick this one up. So yeah, that's 783 Walk Crown. Not a bad album if I do say so to myself. And the last CD that I picked up at my local thrift store and for this collection update for this year is Theory of a Dead Man and their self-titled debut album. Now, Theory of a Dead Man are like a Canadian mainstream hard rock band, and this is the debut full-length album. And if I remember correctly, Chad Kroeger from Nickelback collaborated with Theory of a Dead Man and actually produced this album. So that's how I found out about this band. And yeah, this and just like the 7 May 3 album, this is just a mainstream rock album. But I think this is one of the better albums Theory of a Dead Man put out because all the albums afterwards wasn't really my thing, but the self-titled debut album is just a really good album. Like I said, if you're into like mainstream rock, this if you're into mainstream rock music, this album will definitely appeal to anyone who's into that sound. You know, not a bad album. It's a good rock album, very mainstream and a bit poppy at places, but I like it. I enjoy it. I'm and it definitely brought back some memories of me figuring out what kind of music taste I was going going to get into during the early 2000s. And Theory of a Dead Man's self-titled debut album is not a bad album if you're into some mainstream rock music. So yeah, Theory of a Dead Man self-titled debut album. Check it out if you love your rock music. And that's it. That's my last collection update for 2024. Very short, very simple, but hopefully everyone enjoys it. And not sure if I can still make videos next year, but hopefully I can. And when the time comes, it might happen. Who knows? But I just want to say thank you for everybody who watches my videos and comment on my videos this year. I really do appreciate it. And 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 like I said, don't know when my next video is going to be, but hopefully everyone enjoyed this one. Take care and thanks for watching.